All right, let's just jump right in because we really need to talk about an urgent reality that's just hiding in plain sight. Listen, right now, a single tiny typo sitting completely unnoticed on your credit report, it could literally be sabotaging your life. We're talking about costing you the approval on your absolute dream home, or it could spike your auto loan interest rates by thousands of dollars, trigger a flat-out rejection on an apartment application, jack up your insurance premiums, or, believe it or not, even block a job offer. Think about that for a second. These seemingly small errors on a digital file, they can have catastrophic, real-world consequences for your entire financial future. But in today's explainer, we're going to walk through exactly how you can fight back, dispute those errors, and legally force their removal.
Real quick, before we get into the actual mechanics of fixing these mistakes, here's our mandatory professional disclaimer. This explainer is just for educational and informational purposes only. It's not legal or financial advice, okay? Credit reporting laws, dispute procedures, investigation timelines, and your consumer rights, they can all vary depending on your jurisdiction and your individual circumstances. So you should absolutely always verify the details through official credit bureaus, consumer protection agencies, or qualified legal professionals.
Okay, here's our quick roadmap for this explainer. First up, why credit errors actually matter. 2. Reports, scores, and bureaus. 3. Spotting red flags and errors. 4. The step-by-step dispute process. 5. Investigation timelines and outcomes. And finally, number 6. Protecting your financial future.
So, starting off with part 1, why credit errors matter and their real-world impact.
The sheer scale of this problem is absolutely staggering. A massive study by the Federal Trade Commission actually revealed that about 21% of consumers, so that's roughly 1 in 5 of us, had confirmed errors in their credit reports. And it gets worse. 13% had errors that directly lowered their credit scores, and 5% had errors serious enough to cause them to be denied credit outright or forced to pay way higher interest rates. This really brilliantly illustrates that credit reporting mistakes, while they aren't just rare flukes, this is a widespread systemic problem. So if you think your credit file is perfectly accurate without even checking it, well, the odds might not be in your favor.
To really understand this impact, let's look at a pretty realistic example. Imagine a woman named Sarah, right? She finally finds her absolute dream home, saves up the whole down payment, applies for a mortgage, and then, suddenly, she's slapped with a denial. Why? Well, because her credit report had this mixed file error. Basically, someone with a really similar name had a massive debt sent to collections, and the credit bureau accidentally merged that bad data onto Sarah's clean report. Just like that, in an instant, her borrowing power was destroyed, her mortgage was denied, and she lost the house. These errors literally restrict your access to the modern financial system.
Moving on to part 2, reports, scores, and bureaus. Understanding the system.
You know, people often confuse credit reports and credit scores, but they are actually very different beasts. Let's demystify this real quick. Think of your credit report as a detailed academic transcript of your entire borrowing history. It lists every class you took, or, in this case, every loan you opened, your payment history, your addresses, and any public records like bankruptcies. Your credit score, on the other hand, that's like your GPA. It's a 3-digit numerical grade generated by a math algorithm that looks at your transcript and basically calculates how much of a risk you are to a lender. When you're disputing an error, you aren't disputing your score. You're demanding a correction to the transcript, which then naturally fixes the GPA.
So, who exactly maintains this transcript? Enter the big 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. Now, here is an absolutely crucial point. These are not government agencies. No way. They are highly profitable private data brokers. They just gather your financial information from lenders, debt collectors, public records, they package it all up into files and then sell it to banks and employers to help them make decisions about you. And because they are private companies handling literally massive amounts of automated data, well, mistakes happen constantly.
All right, section 3, spotting red flags and errors, and what to actually look for. First things first, you need to get your hands on your complete credit files from all 3 bureaus. You can do this at annualcreditreport.com. It's the only officially authorized government site for this, so use that one. Once you have them in front of you, you're hunting for some specific villains. Look for mixed files, where someone else's data, maybe a junior or senior in your family, is suddenly on your report. Hunt for incorrect late payments. Like a 60-day late mark when you definitely paid on time, or a payment marked late when you were actually in an official loan forbearance. Watch out for duplicate accounts, where the exact same debt is listed twice by different collectors. And most importantly, look out for completely fraudulent accounts opened by identity thieves using your name and social security number.
And this brings us to one of the absolute most powerful consumer rights you have, the 7-year rule. The Fair Credit Reporting Act, or FCRA, dictates that most correct but negative information, like an old collection account or a charge-off, literally must be legally removed after 7 years. Now, bankruptcies can stay for 10 years, sure, but typical bad debts, they cannot haunt you forever. If you see a zombie debt from like 9 years ago still dragging down your score, that is a reporting violation and it has to be removed.
Let's get into Section 4, the step-by-step dispute process and taking action.
First off, take a breath, because you are not alone in this fight. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, provides official, structured resources and actual letter templates to help you demand accuracy. The law actually requires that both the credit bureau reporting the error and the company that furnished that bad information to them correct it. And the best part? They have to do it for free.
Okay, so here is your exact physical dispute process step by step. Grab a pen. Step 1. Pull fresh, free reports from annualcreditreport.com for all 3 bureaus, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Remember, an error on one might not be on the others. They don't always talk to each other. Step 2. Meticulously go through line by line and literally circle every single error. Step 3. Gather your hard evidence. If they say you paid late, find your cleared check or your bank statement showing you totally didn't. If you're a victim of identity theft, get a police report or an FTC identity theft affidavit. Step 4. Draft your dispute letters using those templates from the CFPB we talked about, explicitly stating what's wrong and demanding that it be fixed.
Now here's a really crucial piece of advice, and it goes completely against what the bureaus want you to do. Skip the online dispute portals for complex issues. I know it's tempting, but consumer protection experts strongly advise against those quick online forms for large or complicated errors. Why? Because when you use their portals, you often actually give up your right to a full paper trail, and you get forced into these narrow little drop-down menus that just don't explain the nuance of your situation. Instead, actually mail your dispute letters via certified mail with a return receipt. This creates an undeniable, time-stamped legal paper trail proving exactly when the bureau received your dispute.
Moving on to Part 5. Investigation timelines and outcomes. Basically, what happens next?
So the FCRA actually puts credit bureaus on a very rigid legal timeline. From day one, the moment they receive your letter, they generally have exactly 30 calendar days to conduct a reasonable investigation. They have to forward your evidence to the data furnisher, like the bank or the collection agency. Then, that furnisher has to check their records. If they can't verify the negative item, or if they just completely fail to respond in time, the credit bureau legally must delete it. Done. Once those 30 days are up, the bureau then has 5 business days to mail you the updated final results of their investigation, along with a free updated copy of your credit report.
But look, sometimes you run into this incredibly frustrating phenomenon known as reinsertion. This is when a deleted error just pops back up on your report months later, like a bad penny. Oftentimes, this happens just because automated systems re-upload old data, or maybe a debt gets sold to a brand new collection agency. But the good news here, you have rights for this too. If a bureau reinserts a previously deleted item, they are legally required to notify you within 5 days. If they don't, or if the account is still fraudulent, you can just send a specific reinsertion dispute letter to stop it in its tracks and force its permanent removal.
Finally, Section 6. Protecting your financial future with some advanced strategies.
Never ever forget that you have immense power under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Organizations like the National Consumer Law Center, they advocate fiercely for these rights. If a credit bureau or a data furnisher blatantly ignores your evidence, fails to investigate, or just flat out refuses to remove inaccurate, unverifiable data, they are violating federal law. You absolutely have the right to file a complaint with the CFPB, and honestly, in severe cases, consumers frequently hire FCRA attorneys to sue the bureaus and furnishers for damages.
And you know, this perfectly illustrates a massive trap a lot of people fall into. Let me tell you about John. John wanted to buy a house, so he hired this kind of shady credit repair company that went ahead and disputed every single negative item on his report, right as his mortgage was in underwriting. Well, because an active dispute forces the scoring algorithm to temporarily ignore the negative item, John's score actually went up artificially. But here's the catch. Mortgage lenders hate this. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac algorithms view an active disputed status as a huge hidden risk. So John's underwriter forced him to retract the disputes. The moment he did that, the negative items were factored right back in, his score plummeted 80 points, and he was instantly disqualified from his mortgage. Ouch.
So to avoid all that, here is your advanced playbook. First, always dispute directly with all 3 bureaus, and go ahead and send a copy to the furnisher of the bad info too. Second, as we just learned from John, never initiate a new dispute while you are actively seeking a mortgage. You gotta clear up your credit well before you apply. Third, keep your certified mail receipts and copies of your letters literally forever. And finally, if a bureau investigates and still refuses to delete the item, you have the right to add a 100-word consumer statement to your credit file.
This just ensures any future lender looking at your report will actually see your side of the story regarding that specific account.
So the crucial takeaway here is this. Your credit report is your financial reputation. And frankly, nobody is going to guard it but you. The system is flawed, it's highly automated, and it is incredibly prone to costly mistakes. But now you have the exact playbook to fight back. So what are you waiting for? Are you ready to head over to annualcreditreport.com, pull your free reports, hunt down those errors, and take back complete control of your financial transcript? Go check those files today, and let's start securing your financial future.